Boys and girls, this is Mrs. Vernetti here, and I'm joined by Miss Morgan, the coach at Longfellow and Pleasant Hill, and we are going to have some fun with dice today. I've got 5 dice that are rolled on this dice app that was shared with you by your teachers. This one was one we were doing for practice. We're going to start with this one. I'm going to roll the dice. Here's what we've got. Mrs. Morgan, if we were going to use all 5 of these dice as factors and multiply them together to get a total product, how would you go about doing it?
Well, I see a 6 and a 5, and I know that that's 30. That 6 times 5 is 30. That jumped out to me first. And then I see a times 2, so I would double it. So 30 times 2 is 60. And then I see a 3, and I was thinking 60 times 3. 6 times 3 is 18, times 10 is 180, and then times 1.
So what was your final product?
180.
Okay, let me see if I can do it a different way. I'm looking here and I'm seeing 5 times 2, which I know is 10. And then I could take these 2 factors and pair them together. 6 times 3 is 18. That 1 is a gimme because of that. I think you said identity property. The identity property tells you if you multiply anything times 1, it's the same number because one set of something is that much. So I'm going to just not worry about the 1, but 6 times 3 is 18. Times 1 is 18. Now I've got 18 times 10. 18 sets of 10 would be 10 sets of 10, which is 100. And then 8 more 10s, which is 80. So I also think that the product is 180. Let's try another one. How would you do this one? Boys and girls, while we're thinking of something, you could also be thinking of something. And if you need more time before we keep talking, you can go ahead and pause this video to get some ideas down. And then when you've got an idea, come back and see if yours matches ours. What do you think, Mrs. Morgan? How would you do this one?
Right away, I was thinking 6 times 6 is 36. And 3 times 3 is 6. But then I was wondering, how could I quickly multiply 36 times 6?
So
Can
I interrupt you really quickly for a second? I'm so sorry.
No.
I make this mistake all the time. When I see the 3 and 3, I think 6 because I add. Boys, have you ever done that? You want to multiply 2 things together, but instead you add. So instead of doing 36 times 6, let's do 3 times 3, which is 9.
That makes it a little easier for me because I think that 9 is really close to 10. So I think 6 times 6 times 10 is 360. But now what do I do? I have to take that group away. I have to take one group away because instead of 10 groups of 36, I have 9 groups of 36. So what would I subtract? Would that make sense to do?
Yeah, so I think you'd have to take one group of 36 away from that great big number, which you said was, you said 36 times 10, 3.
Well, now 360.
Minus 36. How would you do that?
Well, I would leave that 300 alone because there's 60 minus 36.
Okay.
Because I decompose that 360 into 360 because I only need to subtract 36.
Okay.
So if I have 60 and I subtract 36, I don't like to subtract. I like to count up actually. So if I jump up 4 to 40 and 24 more would get me to 60.
Wow. So then what's your final product? You had the 24.
I just lost my train of thought, Mrs. Vernetti.
Oh my goodness. Mrs. Morgan, you know what? I do that all the time. And boys and girls, don't you do that too? Sometimes we're just like, whoop, up. So let me help you because I was paying attention.
Yes.
300.
Can you restate what I said?
What?
Could you restate what I said?
I would love to do that. And then we can work together to finish it. So you did 6 times 6, which is 36. And then you
Mhm.
saw 3 times 1 times 3 is 9. So we're going to do 36 times 9. But you wanted to work with a nice round number like 10 because that's easier to get to. So you said 36 times 10 is 360. But you don't want 10 sets of 36. You only want 9 sets. So you had to take a set of 36 away.
Mhm.
Now you set the 300 aside, and then you did 60 minus 36. You did the count up strategy. You went from 36 up to 40, which was a jump of 4, and then 40 up to 60, which was a jump of 20. So there's 24 there, but with the 300 set aside, we got to put them back together. So I think that the product of all these dice is 324. Did I get it?
Yes. Yes.
So
You
this
did.
is how I would do it. I would probably do the same thing you did, and I would even go down the road of 36 times 10 first. But when I took the 36 away, I do like to do the counting back. So I would start at 360, and I would say, okay, I have to jump back 36. So I'm going to go back 30. So 360 minus 30 would get me to 330. And then I'm going to go back 6 more. And if I'm at 330 and I have to take 6 steps back, that would get me to 324. Mrs. Morgan, thank you so much for joining me for this talk. Boys and girls, you need to find ways to calculate numbers. And you know what? We're going to make mistakes sometimes. Sometimes we're going to add instead of multiplying, but it's really good. Those mistakes make your brain get sharper. You can use this app as well, and you can go all the way up to 9 dice if you're up for that challenge. I would love to take you up on that challenge sometime. Let me know, and we'll get a meet together, and we'll do some heavy lifting with those numbers. But in the meantime, thank you so much. Have a great day.